we have a new Arc Nova arena leader. Not much is known about them. Supposedly they're from Antarctica, although we can speculate they're probably from China based on the language that they speak. And I don't even know how to say their username, but I think for this video we're going to call them Gary. Because if you look at their name backwards, it's sort of like B Gary. So yeah, Gary is currently at the top of the Arc Nova arena leaderboards on 2,125 points. And it's off the back of a massive win streak. So we're going to look at a couple of his games and see how he sort of plays. Hello everyone that's already here. Hey Maro. Full screen. So the first game we're going to look at today, Gary is second player. We're on Research Institute against a very strong player, MKK. They're roughly 650 rated. See him in a few tournaments. They're just a very strong player. The projects for this game are Australia, Primates, and Predators. And this opening hand for Gary is not great. End goals are Conservation and Aquatic. Conservation could be okay. Bit tricky with Australia and Primates being here. I guess with this opening hand there's a quick path to Australia too, although we're second player, which means we're not guaranteed to get the Australia Partner Zoo. I think also make strong arguments to keep Fox and Raccoon as they're both predators. Going for 4 or 5 predators is pretty safe, because even if you get locked on 5, 4 is just as good. And then personally I would keep Jungle, because with Conservation Zoo being one of the endgames and these not being the easiest projects, I think Jungle has some upside. But instead decides to keep the Petting Zoo over Jungle, which first move that surprised me a bit. Hey Marta. So yeah, we're our second player here. So opponent opens up with Science 2 Rep University. Okay. And we start with Australia Partner Zoo. Yeah, no sponsor in hand, so you want to use your worker before breaking 5, although breaking 5 could be a pretty simple next move. Opponent builds a size 1 over the Reputation, so immediately to me that kind of signals Tasmanian Devil. The main reason you put it over the Reputation spot and get the... You obviously need the 1 science to play the Tasmanian Devil, but then building a size 1 over the 1 rep spot gets you to 5 Reputation. But interesting that they could have gone the path for a quick 2 Australia by just building over the next to the Institute and taking Australia Partner Zoo. I think that would have been pretty viable as well. How long until the end of season? About 2.5 weeks, I think, left. Gary copies the move. Yeah, most likely for Thorny Devil, just building a size 1 over the Reputation. And yeah, strong signal that it's the Tasmanian Devil. Opponent's drawing cards here, most likely to get 1 to pouch. There is still time to climb, but not for me in Arc Nova. I'm way too far away. I'm already in top 10 though for Arc. Yeah, kind of interesting order here. So just playing the Thorny Devil straight away. I guess you wouldn't really mind breaking 5 first, because your opponent has to discard more if they decide to cause the break. It's not like they can have a jumping animal, so I don't know, just getting sponsors ahead of animals seems a bit better. Doesn't matter too much. Tasmanian Devil does come down. They do pouch a card. Now we break 5. And opponent just does the same. So neither player having any sponsor. Yeah, opponent does have to discard 1 card. Yeah, didn't talk about the display at all, but native farm pretty interesting here. Nothing else really relevant. Native Liz is also good, but native farm just better, I would say, for this map. Native Liz is easier to hit, but native farm has a lot more upside. Jaguar also appearing, which is going to be predator number 3 if we can grab it. But first action of the next round does snap up native farm animals. So yes, obviously valuing this sponsor very highly. We know they're about to support Australia too, so I do wonder if they're going to upgrade build here. And what their reward's going to be, most importantly. Where are the guinea pigs? Not here yet. So opponent's actually spending an X to build 5. I guess this signals a couple of things. Means they don't have a project to do yet. And it means that they also don't... Yeah, you never want to really grab a second uni because there's a free uni on the map, on this map. So spending an X to get to the university and then... I guess play an animal before doing a project. Maybe they have a release of some kind. They do upgrade animals though, from getting their second university. So we do 2 Australia here and take a worker and upgrade build. So upgrading build I completely agree with, because you want to start getting native farm out. You want to get this university pretty quickly. Worker though, the thing about worker is we still don't have a sponsor that we want to play just yet. The opponent doesn't have a sponsor either. We know they didn't play one last round, they haven't drawn cards yet. So it kind of feels like it'll be another quick round, which makes a worker much less good. But we'll see. Opponent starts off by playing Platypus. And here we're just building for the university. Size 1 and 2 going to be useful, can fit raccoon and fox in them. Opponent does have a project now, which is actually small animals, just doing that for 2 and taking 5 money as a reward. They only have 1 card in hand now. So we're not sure what it is. They do upgrade cards, which I think makes a lot of sense. They have the hand size university and they only have 1 card in hand. They actually already have 3 upgrades. This was a bit of a weird one, so... Do you play the raccoon or the fox here? Or even both? Only decides to play the raccoon. So my initial thought would be, if I were in this position, probably just play both. I guess they're interested in saving money in case they need to build again this round. Or they want to save the size 2 for something. But if I were to just play 1, I'd probably be playing the fox because we don't really want to be boosting association up, and yeah, the power is not used here. So kind of interesting to only play 1. I guess it's useful if you're going to build like a Chaos Pavilion 2-1 and then just have an animal to go in the size 1 for later. But just an interesting decision I came across. Opponent's going to draw cards now. They have a pretty nice income lead because they did take 5 income. They're also slightly ahead on upgrades. Although Gary is about to get second Partner Zoo here. And yeah, America's now 2 is another, like, kind of another weird one, because if the plan was to take America's, then surely you take the you play the Fox first. But America's gonna be because the Jaguar's in the display, most likely. Could also make an argument to just grab Africa because you know you're going to play the Fox guaranteed. It is Animals upgraded next. And opponent does just break. There are the kind of guinea pigs. Mangalica on the display. Nice for a second petting zoo here. But yeah, another 2 odd moves coming up the next 2. We're highly valuing the Jaguar for the Predator tag, Predator number 3, so we're going to build at power 3 to grab it from range here. Building a petting zoo also makes sense because we want to get down the alpaca. We've seen a second petting zoo animal appear. I mean, that's reasonable enough. Opponent's just going to fully build here. They take Tamarin from the display, which, yeah, makes sense. Primates is a project here. Although it does put the Mangalica in range for Gary with upgraded animals, and they just built a petting zoo, so... Also taking Gorilla Field Research. But now this move kind of surprised me, which was playing native farm animals for 5 appeal only. So you can definitely maximize it more by building along the left side of the map. But then I think the question is the plan just leaving as much space open as possible for the end goal of native farm? But it's extremely early to sort of go for that because there's nothing close that's going to get you to 100 points. So it's not like assured that you can leave all this map open and reach 100 points. So personally for me, I'd like still wait a bit on native farm. But the other thing is you don't want to break 5 because you have 2 workers, so it's a little bit of an awkward position. I guess that was the thought process behind it. Opponent does not have any Partner Zoos yet, but they grab 2 Science Uni. We saw they just picked up Gorilla Field Research, so we'll expect them to play that soon. We're just going to draw cards here. And pretty amazing draws. I mean, Caracal for the Predator number 4, and then Rhino. Rhino is a good way of getting to 100 points, so that's an extremely good draw. And out of all these, the project actually is the one to go, which I agree with. Because we don't have a primate, and with the Rhino we already have 2 projects we're going for now, even potentially small animals. There is the Gorilla Field Research. So actually gets the opponent's second worker now. This is second university for Gary. And all 4 upgrades, so I mean pretty standard association cards, leaving sponsors. I don't know, these kind of look like guinea pigs. I mean, they're both pigs, right? I guess because they're like petting zoo, you kind of think they're small, but they're actually probably like 10 times the size of a guinea pig. Opponent does play Tamarin. They do have some empty enclosures left. They actually get some to 10 reputation. And they do take the Mangalica away, which is a great move right before we're about to play animals here. They also play the Badger for Predator number 2. If we do play animals, probably just Caracal and Alpaca. Nothing to hunt, unfortunately. Well, I know they're rodents, but they have pig in the name. So you can understand where I'm getting at. They both taste... Okay. No. They both do not taste good. No. Opponent's going to do a cards action and draw everything from the deck. Which is fine. They're probably hunting for more predator tags or sponsors. Or even projects. Another kind of tricky position. So Gary is building, looks like, size 2/1 Chaos Pavilion. I mean, there's a great Chaos spot there and Pavilion spot. And you kind of need to cover the 5 money if you want to fully build. Kind of awkward not getting a size 4 out. But I guess the plan is the next animal is going to be Fox and then possibly Tapir from range. My Snark Nova game has started. But I'm definitely not going to play it live on stream. Opponent does have another project, and they're releasing the Platypus. So they get a size 2 back. They get a size 3 from 5 conservation points. And they get some all the way to 8. And times 2 is a bit wasted now because Gary can cause the break, so there's no point taking a times 2. But they do have a sponsor to play from hand, and it's Medical Breakthrough, which is pretty amazing timing right before there's about to be a break. And they do take snapping as well and snap up the reptile breeding program. Yeah, mainly just denial. It's a project for Gary to do. But opponent still does not have any partner zoos. We have an elephant appearing. This is just a break. So, I mean, the opponent looks like they're in a great position. They've got an income lead. They've got a point lead. They've got medical breakthrough down as well. The main thing that Gary has going on is Rhino in hand is definitely a saving grace right now. Also having 4 predators is very nice. Two very interesting sponsors on display are Migration Recording. There is one release project out, although no other Australian animals in sight to be released. But opponent does snap up the elephant here. It does reveal a koala. I'm not sure about the elephant snap. I think there's a lot of better value cards on the display. Like, if I'm in that position, I'd probably snap up Migration Recording because it's the scariest potential card. But I guess we don't know their hand, so maybe they're just looking for that money dump later. Pretty interesting. I don't think it's PayPal. How long's left in the season? I think it's like 18 days or something, 17 days. Oh, hey Charles as well. So opponent snaps up the elephant, but they're building size 2 Chaos Pavilion and another size 1. So they obviously need to touch the Institute for some reason, and they take their clever ability and clever back sponsors. We're just going to draw cards, so a lot of options here. Meerkat Den and Tapir looks like a good solid 1-2 combo. Especially with Rhino in hand as well. Just Meerkat Den going to give at least 6 appeal value if you do those 1-2. But hello Sun Bear here. Also hello 5th Predator icon. Even Moose is amazing here. Expert in Europe is the odd one out. Even though it's kind of weird, keeping 6 animals, like these are 6 very solid animals for this position. Like that was a huge draw for Gary. Opponent does play Coty, Predator number 3. And Eurasian Lynx, okay. Predator number 4. Not the best value here, only 2 iconic, but for Predator number 4, that's 100% worth it. Especially if they can find a release for it later. Yep, because we just drew the Sun Bear, now's a great time to grab Asia Partner Zoo plus 2 reputation. Actually get 4th Worker from hitting 3rd Partner Zoo and 8 reputation. Nice cheap donation as well to get 2 more rep. And now that the Moose is drawn as well, taking Meerkat Den makes a ton of sense. Opponent's going to do another cards action. So, I mean, seeing Meerkat Den, probably want to take away Tapir and Koala, especially because Koala is releasable. It's not the best release, but it's a project to do, and there's Migration Recording there. They do take Koala. Don't know about leaving Tapir. Especially because Gary's just grabbed Asia Partner Zoo. Little bit odd. Predators 4 snipe. Potentially. Could have done it. Could have totally done it. Instead, Gary builds a size 4 enclosure. But yeah, Predators 4 snipe would have been pretty sick. Play Sun Bear Fox. Don't even have to spend that many X tokens because you get a clever ability. Yeti yelling out PayPal. It's nothing is PayPal about this game. Opponent does do Predators at 4. They take 12 money. Which, yep. They have a build action at 5 coming up. Gives them money to fully build. And we're deciding to keep Conservation Zoo, which is obviously a much better choice than Aquatic, but not looking great right about now. So we do have animals. Fox is the obvious choice, and can just afford Jaguar. Probably play the Jaguar first to hunt, although I don't think you're going to find anything much better than a Fox to play there. And I guess the Langer's discounted and part of the Primates project, but you'd also argue the Monitor's discounted and can be released, but I don't think it matters too much. There's already like the next 4 playable animals here. Yeah, and Clever's back cards with the Fox ability because there's really not much reason to be drawing cards now. Opponent does play Water Playground. Sure, why not? There's a nice little 2 sides there for it. Gary is going to spend an X token to do... actually small animals at 5 while it's still up there is nice. Takes 5 income. Great time as well to now get the ×2 on sponsors. Allows him to play Meerkat Den and cause the break at the same time. Also donates for 5. So I mean, opponent's still ahead slightly in points. But this hand that Gary has is stacked, especially with Sunbear. But opponent going to play animals before the break. They take Chinese Water Dragon from display. They play Rock Monitor. Sell 2 cards and then just play the Water Dragon they just took. But don't have anything else to Sunbathe. I mean, that gets them a 16-point lead now. And the positioning on Meerkat Den here is really nice. It would be so tempting for me, and I'd probably just do this in-game to like just have it touch the kiosk. But he's been counting the native farm spaces left here. And if you build a size 4 like over here, it leaves 12 spaces for 2 conservation points perfectly. And that's probably the only enclosures left that you need. Right, like Rhino, Moose, Sunbear. These are the only animals, because you're going to hit Predators 5 and then Species 5 as a project. So that's already like 30 points, and then these give like 20 on their own. That's basically enough to cross with some donations. Unfortunately for Gary, he does not have snapping here, and the opponent does. And an eagle just appears, which they snap up. So, Tiger also great. What we know about their hand is Asian Elephant and Bald Eagle. And I think that might be it. Maybe there's a koala still in there, but they could have sold the koala. But opponent going to first action cards. Obviously worried about a couple of things on the display, such as the 2 predator icons here. I think it's a little bit unnecessary. We know there's already like 2... I guess they could have sold the elephant as well. I don't know about the cards action. I think denying predators is fine, but Gary already has 4. I think it's reasonable enough to assume with the amount of cards actions they've done that they probably have a 5th. Unfortunately, the cards do not refill properly, but they will soon. Yeah, it's building a size 4 and pavilion. Clevering down cards again, because we have no use for cards. We have everything we need to finish the game here, basically. And opponent going to grab Asia Partner Zoo, which I really hate as a move. I think the time for Partner Zoos has long gone. It does suggest they still have the Asian Elephant, but I think, considering they just grabbed Eagle and Long-billed Vulture, they already have the next 2 animals they want to play. Like, probably ignore the elephant and just build an aviary. So, I think, yeah, this is a really, really poor tempo move for the opponent. Especially because Association was at 4, they're like 1 away from doing a project. It's probably telling us that they don't have a project to do. Oh, and truly, truly bizarre move here. Doing a cards action at 1 after it was just clevered down. Now, I couldn't figure this out at the time because I could not see the display, but it was just to grab Petting Zoo. Single Petting Zoo draw with a cards 1 action. What the heck is that about? The reasoning I'm guessing is because it's playable with Rhino. You go bam, Rhino, petting zoo. But I'm not sure about that. Or maybe you just go Sun Bear, petting zoo, do Predators 5. Well, yeah, they're definitely not building any more enclosures. So it's like you play your Rhino, Sun Bear, Moose, Lorikeet. I guess the last 4 animals that you're going to play, and then Lorikeet gives you that second animal. But I think if that was the plan, you definitely do not clever back cards there. I should note that these are all turn-based games, so the players have a lot of time to think about these moves. Oh, yeah, you can definitely understand why, because it gives you a second playable animal right now. Opponent does build size 5. I think blue should grab 3rd uni. Why is that now? I think there's no reason for blue to grab 3rd uni here. Opponent already has 3rd uni. So yeah, here we go. Just Rhino Lorikeet. That's what it is. Take species diversity. Opponent just doing animals at 4. Which I don't love either. I think it's very reasonable for them to just break if they are... If they don't have a sponsor to play, it's very reasonable to just break because you need a lot of money if you want to play Elephant plus Eagle plus Vulture. But, okay, they do just play Eagle now. They play Eagle into break. I guess that's fair enough. They played Eagle into the size 5, so now they're forced to build an aviary. They do snap the adder, which is playable for them. They're behind an appeal as well, so that could be pretty relevant. The other Rhino appears, which opponent should definitely be looking to grab. Would be much better than playing Elephant for them. But Gary grabs 2 rep and doing species diversity. Grabs the Rhino away. And yeah, all of a sudden the game is like 1 more turn away from ending. Species diversity plus donation. Well, sorry, not even donation. Just Sun Bear plus Moose. It costs 32 money. But yeah, Sun Bear plus Moose into Predators 5 is enough to end. So opponent does realize, like, oh crap, there is not a lot of time left. They did species first because they don't have 5 Predators yet. They need to play the Sun Bear. Yeah, opponent very rightfully spends 2x tokens to build the aviary now. Be a complete disaster if the game ended before they got to do that. Yeah, this is the final move. Predators, and taking 12 money just for a last donation. Finished on 109. Only 2 CP from Conservation Zoo, but also 2 from Native Farm. So basically a full end goal here. Opponent is a lot of points behind, and I'm not sure they have a great project to finish on. They do play their Asian Elephant. So double endgames are nice at least. And lucky for them, they have the other Eagle as well, and perfect money to play it. So unfortunately couldn't also get the Hypnosis in there. Just short of money to do that. It's only 2 more appeal. And they just finished with Reptile Breeding. Does get them the CP from crossing 14 reputation, but they are 13 points down. And they have no visible endgames, they just have double elephant endgame. Which was research and diverse species, so I'm pretty good there. But just slightly not enough. So obviously some very nice draws in the middle of the game, like Rhino, amazing draw, Sun Bear, amazing draw. Hitting like 5 Predators plus Moose as well. But some interesting decisions, like to only play the Raccoon in round 2, not playing the Fox, and then getting the America's Partner Zoo after that. Yeah, no guinea pigs, sorry. But it really looked like the opponent would run away with the game. Like, sort of mid-game, they had their Predators 4 done, they just got out Medical Breakthrough. They seem to have a really strong position. But I think they got distracted big time by the elephant, and it looks like they just ran out of projects. Like, they spent an action grabbing Asia Partner Zoo, which saved them 6 money at the end of the day. I guess it also allowed them to do their breeding program. Yeah, pretty cool game. Definitely no PayPal here. Both players played it well. I did love the playing around native farm animals. Just leaving 12 spaces here perfectly for 2 endgame shields. Okay, all the PayPal sayers. What could the opponent have done differently? Because at that stage of the game where they grabbed the Asia Partner Zoo, they obviously ran out of projects to do. And the Asia Partner Zoo did give a discount on the elephant plus allow reptile breeding program, so 5 appeal plus 2 endgame shields native farm. 11 points is not bad. That was the first game. Pretty fast-paced one as well. 27 turns as second player, but we did have 5 breaks in it. Manga Bay and Primates 2, that's a good call. It's definitely, I would say definitely much better than Asia Partner Zoo plus Elephant. I think elephants are pretty bait. Alright, we have game number 2. This time we're on Observation Tower. And this one I haven't fully watched yet. So, I mean, we see our Partner Zoo at 5, University at 8, so species diversity is going to be massive here. I think whoever gets one of these big projects done first has a huge head start getting Partner Zoo and Uni. Yeah, but Gary is second player. Again, end goals are Conservation Zoo and Diverse Species. Yeah, projects are Bird Species Diversity Africa. So, very interesting opening hand. I think Clear keeps a Marabou Flamingo for both fitting double projects. And there's a lot of arguments you can make for the rest. So on Observation Tower, I rate Victory Column a lot lower because you already start with a strong... appeal boost. The extra appeal you get from this is less relevant. Whereas something like Arcade is the opposite. Arcade scales a lot better on Observation Tower, and I rate it very highly on this map. So then my other thought would just be like Badger plus Predator breeding, I think is pretty safe. But you could definitely argue to go for Vulture as well. They do decide to go Vulture and Victory Column, which I did see before making those predictions, so I knew it was going to happen. And pretty unfortunate for Gary here that there is Sloth Bear on the display, obviously giving the double icons for species diversity. The opponent is first player with cards at 5. So, I mean, not snapping up Sloth Bear is absolutely outrageous there. I don't know what you would need to urgently grab that trumps grabbing Sloth Bear here, but that's already a huge blunder. But Gary seems to not care either, and let's play Victory Column. Playing it over the 5 money is fine. I guess their plan is to build Marabou size 3 here, and then size 2 Touching Water for the Flamingo. I'm shocked that neither player snapped up Sloth Bear. And I think you do snap it up. I think there's never a world where you build a size 3 here for it. I really don't like that as a move. I guess both players' builds started at 2, so that was not an option for either. But it's worth a snap. Okay, opponent does have Archaeologist. Which, I mean, fair enough to get out. But I'm still shocked, like, just snap up Sloth Bear. Neither player seems to care. It's like really shaking me to my core. This is such good value here when there's Partner Zoo at 5 and University on 8. Okay, we have opponent building a size 4. With their Archaeologist proc, they take 5 money instead of drawing a card, such as Sloth Bear. Gary grabs Africa Partner Zoo, which fine. Let's see this cards act. Oh my god, it's still not a cards action. It's a long build Vulture. Oh my. We have a build 2 action. If this... Oh my god, he gets the Sloth Bear for free. I mean, let's see how the game plays out. Opponent presumably has a release for the Vulture. There's not a lot of reasons you'd start Vulture otherwise. And it does fit a project, but if they have a release for it and get the Partner Zoo, I'll forgive them. They do just draw from the deck. They don't have hand size, so they're going to have to discard 2 cards. Assuming there's going to be a break soon. But Gary can actually play both animals, so just X's back cards. They do not want to break before they play animals. Opponent does have a sponsor, Expert in Predators, okay. Get some second species. That does make Sloth Bear less good for them, because they already have the Predator tag in hand, although it's not clear if they just drew that or not. Here we do have Flamingo and Marabou. Probably want to play the Marabou first to scavenge first, just in case you get something. But nonetheless, they're going to play both. Let's see what they scavenge. Predator breeding comes back, which is great now that Sloth Bear is here. Cody not really needed for the icons anymore, so yeah, keeping the breeding program makes sense. Opponent's going to build a size 2 and grab Slow Worm from the display, so that's the 3rd species for them at least. Interesting move here for Gary to X-back build. We can't see what's in folder number 6 right now because of the replay bug. So they're either looking to break 7, which is a little bit odd, or they're looking to snap up something, but opponent just X's back cards, which is also quite odd. That's very true. Opponent did not start Coty. The scavenge had to come from somewhere. That is kind of crazy. We'll go back and look at their opening hand. This is also a turn-based game as well, I will point out. But after all that, Gary just decides to break 5, and the build X-back was a little bit odd. Okay, opponent plays Expert and Herbivores now, so now they have those 3 plus Slow Worm in hand. Opponent could definitely have Raccoon. Although I'd still rather keep Coty over Raccoon every single day of the week. Did we just see a build 1 action? Presumably looking to snap up the Fox for Africa, icon number 4. But building 1 is horribly inefficient. I don't really understand what's going on. Opponent's going to play Slow Worm as well because they can. Fox for breeding makes sense. And for the Africa icon, like, it does make sense, but I don't understand the build 1. I guess because you have to build for the Fox to play Predator breeding. And are they going to spend an extra snap it up and probably discard Sloth Bear, I guess? Oh, what the heck? Sun Bear just casually sitting in folder 6 the whole time? I have regrets about doing this game. About covering this game. I wish I'd watched it first. What the heck is going on? True. Gary can even just do Birds 2. I guess their plan is to go for Birds 4 because they already have the Vulture, which is good value. After all is said and done, opponents looking very strong on species diversity, even though they neglected Sloth Bear. But Gary also looking great on Africa 5 here. Rock Monitor's in the display as well. Opponent just grabs second University. Does get them 2 upgrades, so they can upgrade sponsors and build. They could potentially build to... Okay, they can definitely build to draw Sun Bear from range because they have Archaeologist. So they should definitely look to do that. We are gonna play the Fox here to do Predator breeding. So yeah, saving Birds to do 4. With Archaeologist, the opponent grabs an X token instead of drawing Sun Bear from range. That's very, very questionable. I think with Predator breeding, Gary's definitely going to take snapping because the display is just completely bonkers right here. But the question is, do you snap up the Sun Bear or the Rock Monitor? Because this is Africa number 5. Dwarven Time saying snap the Spotted Hyena compound, but I can assure you that's not happening. You think it's questionable? We're not questioning, I don't know. I see the, I see going for Birds 4. It's not like it's the difference between 3 and 2. It's 4 and 2. Like, Birds 4 is a good project to aim for. Do get the Sun Bear for free, though. Opponent does cards now and snaps up the Rock Monitor, which is a good move there. Definitely deny Africa number 5. Although maybe not a good move if they don't have a 5th species in hand, because they're still racing for 5 and 8 CP here. So you definitely want to secure species ASAP if you're the opponent. But Gary is just going to break 7. Why not? They have a pretty decent point lead. They now have a money lead. And they have snapping, so they can snap up whatever they want here. Yeah, Eurasian Brown Bear looks amazing with Sun Bear in hand. Be amazed if that was not the snap here. Takes the Langer instead. I'm really shocked not snapping up Brown Bear when you have Sun Bear. It's a deadly combo. Langer doesn't even secure you species. It gets you 4 species. I guess it's okay. I guess it is the species that opponent needs for 5, which is a fine enough reason. But opponent has Red Panda anyway, they don't care. Well, it's actually perfect time for the opponent. They get double sponsor X here, as well as just being able to do species 5 next move. We have a size 4 touching the tower. I don't know what's happening. The assumption is we're definitely playing the Langer in here. So the question becomes, why not size 3 and size 1, or size 3 and kiosk? You obviously want the X token, which is fair enough, but size 3 and size 1 is just better then? Because with an already filled up 3 enclosure, the release trick doesn't work. If you release Marabou or something, maybe if you build an aviary and then release Langer afterwards, you get the size 4 back, but I think I'd rather just have the size 1 personally. Okay, opponent actually does a move that I love, which is play Waza Special from range. They focus on small animals. And just breaks 5 with the other sponsor 5. I think that's fine, although you could definitely argue playing Spotted Hyena compound is good there, just to keep hunting for small animals. But 10 money is hard to pass up on. But I do love the playing Waza Special small there. Oh. Maybe missed a trick though. Gary spends 2 X's here just to do Africa at 4, which is going to grab this partner zoo. If opponent had just spent an X, they get species 5 and the partner zoo that's with it. Opponent might be bad, but opponent's rated over 500. Opponent's definitely missing a lot. They are rated over 500. I checked. Alright, Gary does do Africa at 4, which I think is a great tactical move to grab the partner zoo here, and they take size 2 reward, which is fine. There's a lot of size 2 animals coming up. There's Sun Bear, there's Wombat, Tapir. Now species 5 to play a sponsor for money is so much worse than partner zoo. They don't even have a sponsor, they just grab 5 money. But I do like them taking size 2 rewards. So I mean, they're showing signs of being a good player. Like, they're doing the right things, taking size 2, playing Waza Special Small. Those are great moves, but just missing some things tactically, like not spending an X to secure the partner zoo, not grabbing Sloth Bear earlier, just small things like that. Gary does do a cards action to snap up Tapir, which also makes a lot of sense. That conservation point's actually going to come in very handy here. Like, play the Tapir, then you do species at 3, you get the university as well at 8. Oh. Opponent builds a size 3 here over the 5 money and now decides to draw a card randomly instead of taking 5 more money, which I do not like. And Gary can just cause the break here, playing Langer plus Tapir. They do dig away Wombat, which is a great move. Dig away all the small animals that you can. Choosing not to dig for a second. Would have been tempted to get rid of Wallaby as well, even though it's worse here. If you have Waza's special on small, I think you just get rid of any petting zoo you see as well. But with this break and this animals action, they do have a nice point and income lead now. Although the opponent's definitely still in it with Waza's special on small and a lot of empty enclosures. Also shocked that this brown bear is still here. Like, this should be snapped up 100%. Guess there's no risk of the opponent needing it, but it's such a good value card. Maybe just going to snap up the Stoat instead to keep away the small animals. I mean, Tortoise is great too. Already have 2 Americas down. I see the Tortoise there. But let me ask you this, would you rather the brown bear or the Tortoise? Like, I'm picking brown bear every day of the week here. You take Tortoise, but you're always going on about how the first steal gives you an extra worker, and that's like, ooh, tempo, me tempo player. I don't know. Brown bear is the best, like, tempo animal in the game. Especially with Conservation Zoo, although I guess Diverse Species looking pretty good here. But Diverse Species would also love a second bear icon. Yeah. Okay, opponent spends an X to do animals. Well, they play the Cobra, which is very nice. Yeah, actually perfect time for Cobra. Take away that association, get the first donation as well. They play Caracal. They hunt another small animal for them to play later. They do take Africa Partner Zoo. Sure. Get that donation. Yeah, both players super close to that university on 8. But Gary does have to spend an extra build here. Yeah, Gary doesn't really want to break 5 when he has 38 money. And there is the aviary. So it does free up the size 3. Could be kind of cute to play the tortoise in there and then build a reptile house later. Free up the size 3 again. Hey, David. Opponent's now just drawing cards from the deck. Display looking pretty good for them. 2 small animals coming up, both playable. Gary's also just going to draw from the deck. Does hit Grizzly Bear. Hits a Cayman, which makes Reptile House make a lot of sense. Deer is not able to flock with anything here. We have an opponent playing Foreign Institute to get a worker so they can do a project and potentially take this university. Oh wow, actually looks like Gary is going to snipe this university by playing the tortoise here, getting 2 CP that way. That timing. Super game-changing, be able to snipe Partner Zoo and University. Sunbay's away 2 cards. Yeah, fine, having the money to basically fully build is more important than having a Cayman to play later. Opponent... Oh, okay, opponent does have a project that is leech off predator breeding. I mean, opponent should be spending X tokens here. Opponent should have spent X tokens twice so they can secure this Partner Zoo and University. That's tactical misplays on their part. So with the Archaeologist reward, they do draw the Wallaby from range. Yeah, it's fine. They also take Snapping. Makes a ton of sense to grab these small animals. And Gary's just doing species diversity into 5 money, 5 income. Keeps Conservation Zoo as well. Diverse species is pretty scary when your opponents are spamming out small animals, because they can get a lot more animals down. Conservation already being on 3. I guess you always have birds as a 4th, so it's pretty safe. Does donate for 5 as well. 56 points to 41. But the opponent's animals' actions are a lot more efficient. And they do have a lot of empty enclosures still. Yeah, I agree with this a lot for the opponent. If they play Martin from range here. They play Rock Monitor. Sell 2 cards. When you can only play small animals, you're going to end up with a lot more junk cards, I guess. Play the Stoat, though. I would have liked to see them secure that Martin. I guess they can play the Tamarin as well. Well, they actually hit Africa and Pilfer Monkey. So I guess them to 4 Africa. 5 if they get the tortoise from display and they have size 3s for it. Well, they have 1 size 3 for it. Okay, we have another size 4. Picking up Jaguar. donating killed the brown bear. It's very clear to me that Gary has zero interest in the brown bear, which I'm still shocked by. Like, jaguar over brown bear? Secretary bird appears, which is amazing for Gary. Gives actually the 4th bird icon and makes the vulture playable. Another nice move from opponent building reptile house here. Gets him a lot of those enclosures back touching the tower. This is just the break, no doubt, to snap up Secretary Bird. And points to level again. If opponent can get 5 Africa versus 4 birds, it's a close game. Size 2 of the X. Yeah, it is for the Secretary Bird. Size 2 for a Clever is very nice. Oh, and to take Tamarin as well. And snaps up the Tortoise. Okay, that is their 5 Africa. Because they don't have cards upgraded, they can just spam animals at 3 all day. Rhino shows up, but it's probably a bit late. I mean, you want to play 1, 2, 3 and do birds 4. It's pretty close to crossing. We'll see. This Pilfer could actually hurt quite a bit here. Oh, actually, Gary doesn't even have Asia Partner Zoo. Sunbear's not playable. But yeah, you can't afford to give a card with 2 birds needed here. Okay, they do play their 5 Africa. Sell 2 cards as well. Gary's just doing animals at 4. Yeah, neither player has upgraded cards, so their reputation is really meaningless at this point. Secretary Bird into Vulture. This guy... So maybe the whole idea all along was Gary's not planning on getting a 3rd partner zoo and then Sunbear is not playable, but he's kept it the whole time as a thing. Does keep sponsorship vultures, which is 4 points for free for no money spent. Makes sense. Opponent spends the next 2 to Africa and take 12 money. That should give him enough to play 2 more animals, and that's very close to crossing. Depends what they have, but they should be able to cross with the extra points from Wazza Special and this size 2 enclosure. I mean, they can basically cross next move. Gary does grab 12 money as well. Donates, so they can play Jaguar and potentially hunt something. I guess maybe play Martin or Tamarin, depending on if Martin gets played, Tamarin comes into range, so it's at least 2 playable animals. Not sure about this spending an X to build 5 action. Oh, Petting Zoo. Okay, Petting Zoo Kiosk Pavilion. So that does cover all the borders for archaeologists. But if they have Architectural Zoo, they're not touching this water, which is pretty costly. Gary does play sponsorship vultures. So yeah, we'll definitely cross now playing Jaguar. Opponent's just doing cards. Potentially for something to pouch for the Wallaby. I guess they're in a sort of position where neither player's incentivized to end the game. Both can cross, but neither want to cross first. Where's Jaguar? Hunt for... Oh, I have actually perfect money for Mamba, so it's a nice little extra 3 appeal from the hunt there. I think the Martin's not... Yeah, Martin was not a huge deal. Because if the opponent plays the Martin, it just puts the Tamarin in range. Although it was not enough money to play Tamarin, so yeah, it could have been interesting. But Hunt 4 is pretty safe. I say pretty safe, it's not actually that safe. Alright, last animal's action is Wallaby, plus Pouch. And what's the last animal here? Guinea pig, okay. 107, 102. We do have Archaeologist here. Don't have our Foreign Institute. And yeah, we did suspect it was Architectural. Gary only had Conservation for 2 plus Victory Column, so 115 to 111. there's your guinea pig. Fortuna Street very happy. That is funny, okay, without the Mamba there, -6. And if you can't play, if the Martin gets taken as well. Very interesting. Only just got Victory Column 2, it was 80 to 81. So there are actually worlds where the opponent can win if they play like Wallaby plus Martin, and then Gary does not hunt something playable. That's very interesting. So you're right, Charles, it could have actually been the difference in the end. Yeah, shame with Architectural just missing that one water space there. Very interesting though. So, tactically sound play from our arena leader Gary to just support Africa at 4, even though it's much worse than supporting it at 5, but to get the Partner Zoo is a ton of compensation back. In the end, the uni actually did very, very little for Gary. They got the university on 8, but they never upgraded cards. They never... I guess it got them reputation for 8, but they didn't use the second worker either, so... Yes, second Partner Zoo helped Gary a ton. Like, just imagine the difference if opponent has second Partner Zoo and Gary doesn't. Like, definitely game-changing there. So, I mean, that goes to show you it only takes one move to really lose the game. And it was not spending an X to secure Species 5 earlier. Petting Zoo tier list? That's more your sort of video, Yadi. I'll leave that one to you. Empty Petting Zoo is indeed S tier. But yeah, unfortunately we had a double cube Petting Zoo, which is part of the reason why they lost. Or playing the Martin also is fitting in the size 2 enclosure. Very interesting. Like, playing the Martin is actually just a point better, in fact. It's a point better because you get 5, but you also tie on Victory Column, which means you deny them Victory Column. Very interesting, the maths the sort of math there. Anyway, that's all we're going to look at today. That was another 27 turn game. Only 4 breaks this one, but that's more expected on Observation Tower with the extra appeal and income. So yeah, opponent was 532 rated before the game. Yeah, anyway, that's all we're going to watch. So thanks everyone for joining me. Have a good rest of the day and see you guys next time. Oh, and Charles, log into BGA and answer your direct messages. Thank you.